What's up, everybody? This is Chris from Street Valet. Chris, in this video, is working on the clutch, flywheel, and pressure plate on the 1990 Mazda Miata. It's a 1.6 NA. This is Chris's 1996 S14, known as the 240SX. You're going to see a lot of content coming from both of these cars, especially on the track and things like that. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out, and share as well. Have a great day.
Alright, so right now I'm currently taking out all of the mounting bolts for the transmission. So these down here are 18s. The rest of the mounting bolts that go up are all 17s, plus two 12s that hold in the starter. There's also two 12s that hold in the slave cylinder for the clutch. You can see right in here. After I get that done, I'm going to be pulling out the exhaust. You're going to have to pull from the, which is all the way down in here, and then back here by the cap. Once you get that out, you can start pulling out these bolts right here that hold this long piece that goes all the way to the back. That is going to be all 17s all the way through. And then once you get all of that out, you'll be able to undo the interior, which holds the shifter and whatnot. We're going to try to keep the drive shaft in so that we don't have to drain the fluid today, because we just did a fluid flush on this trans. And then once we get all of that done, we'll be able to pull the trans out once we get it unbolted from the diff. Forgot that part. Unbolt it from the diff, then we can pull the trans out. Once we pull the trans out, we're going to get into the pressure plate is bolted up, and then you can pull the clutch. And then after that, do the 6 or 8 bolts that hold the flywheel in. So right now we're just going to work on these mounting bolts.
But what I'm working on right now is pulling the shifter and like the whole center console out so he can drop the transmission. I don't have any screws in here. You usually have 3 screws you would take off. 1, 2, 3. You take those screws off. But the only screws I have is one here and one here. So these screws are here and then one here. And basically what I do is I keep my screws as where I'm going to remember them. There's going to be 3 screws here once I take this center console out. So here's the 3 screws I was talking about. You can take these off. Well, now this is pulled out, and all you have to do is pull that straight out, and there's your window switches. You're going to just take this and put it to the side. And then you have these wires you have to worry about. I'm going to pull these and show you how to do that. Basically, we're just going to have this rubber boot. You have 3 bolts on your shifter. The best way to get to these is you're going to end up pulling it to the side. Pull that out, and just like that, that is your shifter. You know, the Miata, the S14.
Miata, we have 2 connectors that connect to the dash to give you the tachometer and speedometer. These are both disconnected right here. The diff is completely disconnected. Everything that goes in the drivetrain is currently disconnected. You can see here there's a little bit of trans fluid coming out, but that's okay. We're just going to kind of let it come out as it is. We'll refill it with whatever we need to refill it with. There's a connector that goes here. It is right here. Right here. That is what is currently leaking. And the trans is out. There are 2 connectors right here. We're going to disconnect the pressure plate, which has a bunch of wear and tear. You can see all of the fabric and everything that's coming out of this clutch. It was not installed to a proper flywheel. It was rusted all the way through, and it grinded through. This clutch right here, you can see that it is worn. It is not okay. So we're going to install a new one. Now we are torquing down the flywheel bolts to 75 foot per pound. This thing is not fun. So last night got a bit faded. did not end up finishing it last night, so that's okay. We got into the new day. Woke up an hour after we went to bed, went to RSF Cars and Coffee, did a little podcast there, and now we're tiredly finishing up the Miata. I have it all bolted in already. Slave cylinders in, trans is mated to the engine. It's all tightened down. We spilled a bunch of trans fluid because I, was not savvy enough to not spill it. So now I had to clean up. Made the mistake. Drain your fluid. Don't be lazy. I was trying to be lazy and it did not end well. I'm putting the downpipe for the exhaust back in.
Oh, yes, brother.
For those who are of legal age to smoke tobacco.
Why do you say it like that?